What are you doing over there?
Looking up a couple things on my phone.
Interesting. The last second, don't you think?
Yeah, a little bit. I was busy.
Here, scoot over towards me a little bit. What is happening, everybody? What's up? It's Sunday. Sorry, I won't sing an entire Sunday song because somebody doesn't appreciate what I do. But we did not do a show last week.
We did not.
We apologize for disappointing some of you guys. Of course, we did. I mentioned it a couple times in the Boss Facebook group. So if you're on the Boss Facebook group and you didn't know we were going to have a show, maybe you should join the group because I did talk about there. But anyway, glad to be back. We took last week off for Mother's Day. Enjoyed the day off, and
we actually hung out with some local friends. There were just a little group of 6 of us, and one of our friends has a little 6-year-old girl. So we had a nice little day like normal people. We had a little potluck in our friend's backyard, and it was nice.
We did stuff yesterday too. We took yesterday off, and we went over to our friend's house and did some pool lounging.
Yep.
Little pool lounging. And you have good friends when you can go over, hang out in the pool, and then go take a nap while the rest of them socialize. Continue.
Yeah, somebody decided she was too tired in the middle of the afternoon of swimming.
Listen.
And decided to go inside and take a nap.
No, first I took a nap on the patio, but then I fell asleep, and then I woke up, it was a little too warm. So I went inside and hung out with the cats. But no, it's, we're just hanging out. We're we're going to be there for hours. So I wanted to take a little nap, and it was all cool, man. You go out, you're in the hot sun, and then we ate food, and I had 2 whole, what do you call it?
Basically White Claw.
Truly stuff, 2 of those. And it's a little bit of booze. Booze, it never makes me tired when I drink it at night. But it's if I do in the middle of the day, then it's just oh, it's time for a little nap.
A little nappy nap.
A little nappy nap. But anyway, so we had a really good time. But
we're back.
We're back. We have some numbers to share with you. We have some sales to share with you. And
I even have a haul.
We even have a haul. But first, before we totally get into this, I really, 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 really hope that she's watching, because we're going to go ahead and dedicate the entire Sunday show to, apparently we've got a fan out there who thinks we're pretty cool. And so of course we think she's pretty cool. Her name is Jessica King. Her mom, Annette, is a reseller. And apparently Jessica lets Annette know when our show comes on,
because she likes to watch it with her.
Yes. And listen, I like everybody. Especially those of you who are part of our world, who watch our show. But I have a special love for people who love horror movies. And Jessica is a big fan of Friday the 13th. So automatically, I think she's super cool.
Of course.
So we're going to go ahead and dedicate.
And you're not wearing your Friday the 13th shirt today. You did not have forethought.
What are you talking about? Well, the shirts you got me are Halloween shirts.
Whatever. Close enough.
No.
Same thing.
Because I know that's what you're thinking of. You're you're thinking to yourself, I just got you some Friday the 13th t-shirts. No. You got me Halloween shirts, which I also love.
Whatevs.
But listen, quit insulting Jessica. She loves Friday the 13th. I love Friday the 13th.
That's right. It's Jason.
We know what Friday the 13th is, as opposed to your lack of knowledge over there. But Jessica, shout out to you, Jessica King. We dedicate this show to you, and we hope you're watching, or maybe you're going to watch later. But we think you're super cool, and your mom's pretty cool too. But you're a little cooler. So anyway. Glad to have all you guys here. Anyway, so we actually went, we're in I guess we're in phase 1 here in Nevada. So stuff has started opening up a little bit. Goodwill's already open. I think Savers opens tomorrow or the day after.
Greg went and moved back, and stuff's starting to open up now. Damn it, Greg.
Maybe it's because Greg moved back, and then they're like, all right, we can open back up again.
That's it. He's out. We're safe. The very last place, the first place we all went together was for a trivia night that never happened. on the Thursday, 2 days after Greg got here in town, and that was at World of Beer. There was no trivia, but there was beer, and we had fun, and we made our own trivia with our friend Britton.
Britton actually has a whole theory.
He does have a whole theory
about Greg came into town and was really probably because he comes from a mob city, Chicago, and he came to another mob city, Vegas. He thinks that Greg was actually here to put out a hit on the guy who does the trivia at the place, because we
Gotcha.
Trivia was mysteriously canceled, and then the place, what's it called, like whatever, Hall of Beers, or I don't even remember what the name of the place is.
World of Beer.
World of Beer. That place like closed permanently after we had gone there with Greg. So it's really it
literally shut down like 2 days later and closed for good, and all of the stuff has been auctioned off already while we've been in this whole crazy shutdown. So Greg, thanks a lot for wrecking Vegas. And he bought us these fun little coupon books for restaurants and casinos and shows and all this fun stuff to do for locals in town. And not going to be able to use those suckers either.
You guys won last year, and we used that one a lot. So to be fair, we did use it a lot last time. But anyway,
hashtag Greg ruins everything. Seriously, Sandra. Greg, I want to say come on back because we already missed you.
That would be a big
but maybe I don't know. We'll have to talk.
Anyway, so we did go, and they're letting people do yard sales and stuff again. So we went to a few yard sales. You found some stuff.
We did. We went to 3 yard sales, and then we actually went to the Goodwill. That was one of them. It was a nightmare. So I'm going to say, we wore our masks in the store, not because it's required. It's not required here. It is required in some places in some private places are making that decision. And I'm fine. I totally respect that. If I want to walk into your establishment and you want me to wear a mask, then I'm going to wear a mask. I respect you. And I want to, promote the businesses that are open. I wore a mask until probably the last 15 minutes that we were in there, because we were in line for 90 minutes and there was no line getting in, and the parking lot wasn't crazy. So we figured it was okay.
There was once we left,
and then we got in and
it was crazy busy.
The line to check out, it was really busy. The line to check out was 90 minutes, but I had it almost full cart. So I was like, well, fine.
And I bought nothing. So I was real into it.
She was real happy. But so we wore a mask, and then to the last like 15-20 minutes I couldn't breathe. It was so warm in there. I was like, this is why people don't wear masks all the time. It was very difficult. So we tried to be socially distant as possible. It really was not happening. There was a lot of people there.
A lot of people. But anyway, we did that. I did yesterday's fits earlier in the week, and then I also did some bulk sales from some other resellers. So I got bulk purchases. Bulk purchases, bulk deals, bundle deals from some other sellers. So I got some cool stuff. But anyway, so we, as usual, we break the show down into 3 parts. The first part, we go over our real numbers. The second part, we show highlights of the things that we sold over the last week. And then we go into our haul. And I think we both got some cool stuff. I think
we do have somebody in the chat, Kiki's mom, Lisa. We, I don't know if this is public knowledge or not. If it's not, sorry. I think she's planning on moving to Vegas as well relatively soon, Henderson, Vegas area.
You better not have just ruined everything for her.
I really hope you're not going to ruin the experience like Greg. Poor Greg. We keep telling people it's a fun place. Come on in. You'll be part of, come on, be part of our meetup group, and we'll hang out. And
No. We lock everything down as soon as you get here.
Poor Greg.
Yeah. Anyway, I see Jen says that she missed the yesterday's fits boxes again. Yeah, they did have a lot. The thing is, they haven't really been buying much over the last, couple of months. And so there, wasn't enough to do more than 10 boxes. But I will say, guys, they're having, today is their big 3-year anniversary sale. So, I would say it's worth going and looking through their store and seeing if there's anything that you could either potentially flip, or if you want to buy it for yourself, or Father's Day is coming up, and a lot of dads like sports stuff. And they always have some really cool, jackets and t-shirts and stuff like that. They're more sports related and stuff like that. So I would say, it's 35% off. Their prices are already decent. Are already pretty good, like for buying stuff for yourself as opposed to just for resale. But 35% off, they're really good. So I would say go and support those guys if you can. Just check them out. Their website is yesterdaysfits.com. So you should totally look and see what they got.
So Susan Rodriguez, who lives in Oregon now, but she's from Henderson, drove yesterday to the bins, and one Goodwill was open. Bins liked much better the bins, get the bins to ourselves, and they limited the number of people in it. Yeah, I'm hearing the bins experiences in the ones that have started to open up are fantastic right now.
Yeah.
If they're limiting the amount of people in and they're only letting 1 or 2 people on each of the bins when they pull them out, that's got to be fantastic. Because half of it is like you're dealing with the mob mentality of the bins, which I hate.
For sure. Tommy, most of their stuff is on their website. I don't think they have everything on there, but most of the stuff they have on their website. They're basically doing a huge sale today, online sale, and then tomorrow they open up for the first time since everything shut down, like their actual brick and mortar store. But anyway, so do we want to jump into our show for today?
Sure.
So we're going to go over our numbers. We actually have some decent numbers for this week. I think we both did pretty well. I do want to say, we always we were trying to break down our numbers and give you like a realistic look at like, what our sales are, what our costs are, at least like the basic costs like shipping and fees and stuff like that, and our cost of goods, to kind of give you like a general idea of like, what we're purchasing things for, what we're selling them for.
Right. I mean, because basically once you know what we purchased for things, what we've paid for the items and what we sold them for, everybody knows what the fees are on all the platforms. Everybody's overhead's a little bit different, all that type of stuff. Yeah. But in general, you can compare apples to apples when you're talking about purchase price, sale price, and then your final value fees based on the platform that you're selling on.
Yeah. But of course we don't include like our general overhead into that. And, when we talk about our cost of goods, we're only talking about the cost of the actual items that we sold. So the reality is that for all we spent like $10,000 in inventory this week, which we didn't, but and that doesn't get included in that.
$162 on inventory this week.
I actually have had to spend quite a bit on inventory over the last couple of weeks, because it's like when we have to do the online sales and don't have as much access to going out to other places, it's like you really end up having to pay up a lot more. And so, but anyway, so that, just I think the thought is that we want to be transparent with you, but I also want you to think critically about like, and when you see other people kind of talking about, what they bought stuff for, what they sold it for, it's like there's always going to be stuff that you just don't know. So, you don't know how much we spend on the inventory that we don't sell. And, and we buy stuff that ends up not selling ever sometimes, just like anybody else. So even this isn't like a full picture of what our businesses look like. I mean, the reality of it is.
Oh, this week, I just have to say, I went and got my hair done this week. I got to go into an actual salon.
Crazy.
I got my nails done this week. Support your local salons if you are able to, your salons and your stylists. Both my hairstylist and my nail tech are friends, and they were able to open under some different conditions, but it's okay. I'm happy to help support them. They've been out of work for 2 months without a dime. None of them have gotten any unemployment. Nevada was able to file for unemployment for self-employed and the PUA for the gig workers and things like that just yesterday. So no one has gotten a penny yet here in Nevada that is self-employed, that has been put out of work due to this pandemic.
Well, people like musicians, like Dana's husband Johnny, and people who are hairdressers or doing nails, like they haven't been able to have any income at all.
Right.
And
small
so
businesses, small restaurants, anybody that's, a contract worker that works on the strip or, artists, anything like that. So it's been real hard. 2 months for people without any income. The reality is most people in America are 1 to 2 paychecks away from being homeless. And imagine being 2 months without a dime and no recourse for that.
Yeah.
So, politics aside, I don't care who your governor is. I don't care who the president is. I don't care what the hell is going on. Once stuff opens up, please go and support small businesses, because we're small businesses. And thankfully, we've been able to continue our business being online workers. As much as it may have been, hurt in a little way here or there, we've had some income coming in. And I'm happy that they are finally going to be able to get some relief.
I mean, because there was like at least a good month there where mine was down like more than 50%, but that means there was still some there. But, I was talking about like trying to cut my own hair. But then when I found out they were going to be opening up, I went ahead and made an appointment with my guy. It's not until the 21st. So I've got some serious neck fur going on here. I got 4 more days to wait before I can go in and get shorn again. So,
yep. All right, so let's get into the numbers. Sorry, guys, I wasn't meaning to preach, but I'm just like, you know, everybody's experience is different, and I'm not going to dog on whatever anyone's experience is. For some people, this has been fantastic. For others, it's been devastating in a lot of ways. So
yeah, for sure.
I'm just saying, we want our friends to support us. I'm happy to be able to try and support them.
Can you quit dogging, please? Quit your dogging.
I've had it.
Have you?
Yes. For some, it's been sheer torture because they've been locked down 24/7 with somebody.
Aww. All right. I'll go ahead and look at my numbers. So it's funny because a couple weeks ago when we looked, I think I had like 22 eBay outgoing orders, but this last week I did 32 on eBay. And it's funny because I swear whenever eBay is like really low, then it's like Etsy and Grailed will come in and help make up some of the difference. And then it's like eBay was doing really well this week, and then Etsy and Grailed were kind of like, meh, okay. But eBay, 32 orders, Etsy and Grailed combined 13 orders. So total outgoing orders, 45. My eBay gross sales, $2,179.77. My Etsy and Grailed combined $1,020.73. So total gross sales, $3,200.50. Shipping, $245.48. My promotion fees were actually pretty high. My eBay promoted listing fees were like almost $100 this last week. And then my Etsy ads were like $50, and I literally sold 0 things this week because of Etsy. I had like a few because of Etsy ads. I had a few dead days. So it's like I was paying for ads regardless. That's how it works with the way Etsy does theirs. But that's okay because usually the majority of my sales do come from ads, so I'm okay with it. And you can see the breakdown of the fees, my total costs there. My cost of goods this week, really high. I had a lot of things that I paid up for. So my cost of goods were, I think this might be my highest.
That's pretty high.
Cost of goods for 1 week, $580. And that's just the stuff I sold. So it doesn't even include all this other stuff I bought. And then, so my total net sales after costs, $1,878.08. My gross average sale price is pretty good. It's over $70. I like to keep it above 60. So 71.12 is really good. But you see my net average sale price, like a lot of times I'll be at like 60 and then my net is 40. This is like 70 and my net's still 40. So my costs really were pretty high for this week. But overall, a good week. So, all right. So we want to talk about yours. What you got? What you got?
I had a good week too. So I had 54 orders on eBay, which is pretty good for me. 21 between Etsy, Posh, and Mercari. Again, we need to fix this chart so I can have Mercari. If you've got Grailed, I can have Mercari.
I just typed it in. I don't, whatever, man.
Anyway, so my eBay gross sales were $24.80. Etsy, Posh, and Mercari were $11.21 for a total of $36.07 and change. So that's a very good week for me. Anything over $2,500, I consider a good week.
Did you say 11.01?
11.27. Is what I said.
Okay.
Did I say 11?
I think you did.
I don't think I did.
I feel like you did. We can roll the tape back later. All right,
roll that tape back. My shipping was a little high again. I did have some heavy items this week. The buyers did pay for shipping on most of those. So $4.56 for shipping. Promoted listing fees $43.92. eBay final value fees $2.95. Etsy, Mercari, and Posh around $101. Give or take $5 in either direction or so. My total cost $8.96. Cost of goods, $3.19. So my total net sales, $23.91. My average sale price was a little lower this week. I was accepting a lot of offers on some older merchandise and sending out a lot of offers to buyers. Now, keep in mind, I did just buy over the last 2 months of being here in quarantine, I did buy 250 pieces from, plus I bought about 300 pieces of clothing from other resellers in bulk, and I did pay up a little bit for a lower average sale price on those items. So that's going to come into play here when you start seeing my gross ASP. My average sale price is definitely going to go down because I bought a lot of items that I normally would not have purchased at all myself. But I needed to keep some inventory coming in, right? So you do what you got to do. Net average sale price $31.89.
All right. So real quick, Tommy wants to know, how do you know what your fees are? Final value fees, etc. Don't those come from the monthly statement? So basically, we just have a formula stuck in here. So if you look at, like, let's just look at eBay, for instance. eBay final value fees, $295, and that's from $2,480.25. I believe we've basically combined kind of the average eBay final value fees and the PayPal fees. So I think it's 12% is what it's figuring here. I'm pretty sure it's figuring 12%. And then for Etsy, it's like 8.5% is their total fees. So it's not going to be
10% flat, and Posh is 20%, but there are no other fees with Posh. So
it's not going to be like exact on these numbers because, you know, of course it's going to depend on like how it actually comes out in the end. But those should generally,
it's within a few bucks.
Generally, those should be the correct numbers for the final value fees and whatnot. All right, so
it was a good week.
Yeah,
I think we both had good weeks.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I know for me, I probably am going to. You know, I've been talking to Jesse from Yesterday's Fits. His parents, his mom is like one of the OG eBay sellers, and you know, her and her husband, they both, his parents, they both work full-time jobs and stuff, but she has been doing eBay since the 90s, and she actually taught the boys from when they were very young how to sell on eBay. And so she has her own store and stuff, but she's been thinking about selling a bunch of stuff. So for me, it's like having some good sales and be able to build up a little bit of cash. I'd really like to be able to go and do like a large purchase. So we'll see if that can happen. But
I just want to buy her hard goods.
You just want to buy her hard goods? No, I'm going to buy them all.
And the women's vintage, because she doesn't sell just men's.
Yeah, so we're gonna see. So I'm gonna probably I've been kind of like putting away a little bit of money because I need to do some big purchases. So we'll see how that goes. So it's nice to see the sales coming in because you got to reinvest in your business. You got to keep it going.
Well, one thing we're gonna do is we're going away this weekend, Memorial Day weekend. We are headed to Arizona. For a couple of days to go do some sourcing. Arizona's been open for a few weeks. It's just a bordering state to us. And we're staying at our friend's Airbnb. And we're going to be as safe as possible, but we need to get some inventory. Yep. And Nevada's not quite open yet, and I can't stand in line for 2 hours at every store. That defeats the purpose of being able to go in and source.
Well, we asked some people in Phoenix, and they were like, yeah, it's not, you're not dealing with the lines there, like what's happening here.
Yeah, they've been open for a few weeks, so they're kind of they're back to a normal way of doing business at those stores. So we're gonna go, and we're going to do some sourcing.
Yep.
See what we come up with. I would like to say we'll take some video, but because we're going to be doing some precautions and wearing masks and things like that, we may not get a video done.
Probably not, because it's tough to like take my camera in, and it's like I'm trying to like not.
We're trying to minimize germ spreading and all that kind of stuff. So we're trying to be as good as possible. So I think realistically a video would be fun, but it's not going to be real practical.
Yeah, for sure.
So sorry guys, we won't be able to take you with us, but we will have a haul video.
Yeah.
From the Airbnb on Sunday to show you next Sunday.
And hopefully you're going to be able to get some cool hard goods. I'm hoping that the shops, I think all the shops in Kingman are open because there's one in particular that I really want to go into, and that's where I'm going to probably invest a serious chunk of change because I know that they don't really sell a whole lot online.
They don't sell online at all.
I think they've done some stuff, you know, over the last few weeks or a couple months, but they don't really have a huge online presence. And so I'm hoping to go in there and be able to pick up some cool stuff. But anyway,
we'll see what we're going to do.
We'll see. We'll see. It's tough to kind of keep this going when you really have a lot of limitations on your ability to go out and source. All right. Are you ready to jump into this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's look at our solds.
All right. Here we go. Look at this fancy
so this one I showed in a sourcing video. This was one of the items that I sourced from a large bulk purchase from large bulk purchase from another reseller in California. It was this weird, strange, large Polynesian type of shirt. And as soon as I listed it, I got a message from someone who watches our show that wanted to purchase it and made an offer for me. And I was happy to sell it below this price. I did sell it for $50 to a watcher of the show, somebody that I put an alert in because they had wanted to. It's not somebody that I knew, but it's somebody that watches the show that
follows your store.
I guess must be following the store and put an alert in because they knew as soon as this was listed, they must have been they wanted it.
Yeah.
From the video.
Yeah, it's a really cool shirt.
Next time, by the way, if we ever show anything in a video that you want to purchase, please contact us before we list it.
Yeah, just let us know. It doesn't happen a lot.
It doesn't happen a lot, but a private sale is fine. Save everybody some time and some fees.
Yeah.
I won't do a private sale once it's listed on eBay. Let me be fair. If it's listed on eBay and you contact me through eBay, that's a whole other conversation. But If you contact us outside of eBay, or if it's not something that's been listed yet, but you saw it on the show, we're more than happy to offer deals to watchers.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it doesn't really happen a lot, probably because we both price our stuff pretty high. And let's face it, the people who are watching our show are thrifty people like we are. And so they don't necessarily want to spend the money that, which fair enough, like I wouldn't be paying these prices for stuff for myself either.
Right.
Anyway, all right. So next one. So this t-shirt, I hope that he's watching. I haven't seen him in the chat. I haven't really been paying attention. Derek, I bought a bunch of stuff from him. Derek Wagers, one of my
Vintage Fiend when he's in the chat.
Yeah,
I haven't
the
seen him
Vintage
yet.
Fiend. One of my reseller streetwear buds who I've never met in person, but we've
He lives in Kentucky.
Yeah, he lives in Kentucky. But we've interacted with each other for years now. And he's definitely, he finds great stuff, and I've done a few bulk purchases from him. And so recently I wanted to buy some, I think I made an offer on something in his eBay store, and he was like, contacted me, was like, hey, like, that's me. And so I was like, oh, you got some stuff to sell? Send me pictures. So he sent me like a ton of pictures of stuff that he didn't have listed. And I ended up buying a bunch of stuff. And so I bought this t-shirt. This is the Big Bad Wolf. It's a Busch Gardens ride. And I don't know why, it's another one of those things that I've been into lately is amusement park stuff. So I went ahead and bought this. I think I bought all the t-shirts from him for $10 a piece. This one was listed for what, maybe a week and a half, and I sold it for $70. So it was definitely a good deal. And here's the thing, guys, because I remember when I got this from him, I was looking at comps, and there were other ones listed for a lot cheaper than what I listed mine. There were other ones that had sold for a lot cheaper than what I listed mine. But I don't let that kind of thing deter me. Like I just really felt like I could sell it for more, and I did. So you just can't always, like, I feel like comps are an okay guide to a certain degree, but when you're talking about vintage stuff, I mean, there's so many different factors that go into why somebody buys something for a higher price. And I
have a question. What is your keyword? What does suspended mean in the title? Is that
because see how it goes upside down? See how it's a type of ride.
I gotcha.
It hangs upside down and looks really effing scary, if you ask me.
Sandra said she's been on it.
Yeah,
I would have loved to go on that one.
Yeah, it's not. I don't think it's a ride
roller
anymore.
coasters.
I think it might be something else now. But yeah, it looks pretty scary, if you ask me. But yeah, it hangs and it swings.
Woo! I like that.
Ooh, yeah, I'd probably do it, but I'd be scared. Anyway, all right. So there you go. Next one for you.
So this one I've had for quite a while. I don't know why it sat for as long as it did. Generally, I do very well with vintage bomber jackets, flight jackets, that type of thing. But anyway, I got an offer for $125 the other day. I was like, meh, all right, I'll sell it. So I did sell it for less than you see there. I think I maybe spent, at max, I would have paid $10 to $15 for it. Honestly, I don't even remember where I got it. I've had this one for a while. But I did take an offer for $125.
I will say, I know that leather, stuff like this, leather jackets like this aren't as popular as they used to be. Like a year or two ago, it would have moved a lot faster. And they just aren't selling as well as they used to. But, you know, something like this, like these vintage bomber jackets, it's just a matter of time before they become popular again. So it's like, whatever, they're still good jackets. All right. Next one. You guys remember this one?
Oh,
this
yes.
O.J. Simpson Mugshot t-shirt. And it's like a tie-dye one. And it's tie-dye, just ridiculous. So I bought this from yesterday's fits. I think I probably paid $40 for it. I paid anywhere from 30 to 50. I think it was around 40. At most I paid 50. But it's just, of course I had to get this shirt. I mean, come on, but this is a vintage, 90s. And
I wonder if the tie-dye part was original.
No.
Somebody tie-dyed it after, right?
Yeah, and that happens a lot.
Because tie-dye is really hot again.
I mean, it was hot in the 90s too, but I
don't think somebody tie-dyed it in the 90s though.
Probably
I think that's a more recent tie-dye.
Probably. But still, it's cool. Anyway, so I took an offer. I think I've had this for like a couple of months now. I took an offer for $150. So I sold this for $150. Like I said, I bought it. I think I bought it for around $40. The most I paid for it was $50. I definitely would have paid $50 for it because I just knew I'd be able to sell it for a good price. So I sold this for $150.
I think you did pay $50 for it. I think you remember.
I might have.
I think I remember asking you what you got for it.
I might have. Yeah, you usually do ask me that. But yeah, $150. So next one for you.
So this is another leather jacket that sold, and this one did sell for the price that you see there. It sold for $145.96. I did pay about $10 for this one. Again, it could have been more. I never pay more than like 15, so it was somewhere between 10 and 15. I know I picked it up at a Savers, and it sold pretty quickly. I don't think I've had this one for 4 or 5 months, maybe. And it's in the world of vintage, that's pretty quickly, especially with the type of vintage that I sell.
Yeah.
Which is usually women's, mostly women's, like this one. So it, you know, depending on what, you know, what the item is, it could sit for 4 to 6 months at least. So.
I would also like to point out, guys, you're going to see some other examples, at least in my sales. Jackets sell year round. Right now, at least in Vegas, we are pushing it. We're getting in the 90s. We're going to hit 100 degrees here real soon. Jackets do sell year round, and you got to remember that in other parts of the world, it's not as hot. And so don't be scared to, if you find good deals, pick up jackets if you think they're ones that can sell. Even if they'll take a little bit longer, maybe, they're still going to sell year round. So you should never pass up a good deal when it comes to jackets.
Oh, so Corey says that I got it in January. So that means that she must have photographed it. Thanks, Corey. So it actually hasn't been that long. So it, you know, if I got it in January and she photographed it in January.
Yeah, so it's been a few months. All right, this next one. Here's a jacket. This is actually one I bought from another reseller. I won't say his name, so I don't know if he wants me to or not. But anyway, he sold this to me like, I don't know, it's been a couple of months now. But he had picked this jacket up. It's such a cool jacket. So for those of you that don't know, because it's not going to say anywhere on the jacket, but these are called Fanimation jackets. These chalkline jackets that have, they're vintage 90s, like kind of satin bombers. And they have like the really cool graphics on the, like full printed out on the back. And they're called Fanimation jackets, and some of them go for quite a bit. Now I do see people undersell these as well. But anyway, he had this jacket and he had contacted me because it was stained and he didn't want to risk washing it himself. And it was, you know, he didn't want to take it in to get dry clean. He just didn't want to deal with it. And so we were talking about it, and I'm like, well, I really think you could get $100 for it as is, but if you were able to like clean it, then you probably could get more. And so then I told him I would pay him, I'd give him $50 for it if he just wanted to sell it. And so he sold it to me for $50. I got it, and I was able to get the stains out and put it up, and I priced it. You know, I always price my stuff super high so it can accommodate 30% off sale and also best offers and also sending out offers to buyers, blah, blah, blah. So somebody offered $150, and I was very happy with that. That was exactly kind of in the range of what I was hoping to get, is $150. Of course, if I got more, that'd be great too. But I always have like my price in my mind that I'd be happy with. So I got $150 for this, paid $50 for it, and I was right on with kind of what I had told him about what I thought it would sell for. So I thought this was pretty cool, and it was a great opportunity to get from another seller. And it's why it's always good to be interacting with people and kind of networking and stuff like that, because you never know when something cool is going to come along. Yeah.
Speaking of, same type of thing. I purchased this from a bulk buy that I made with Barry a couple of weeks ago. Actually, it's been about a month since I purchased this. I paid $10 for it. On average, I paid about $10 for each item. And this sold for the price you see there of about $95. It was in perfect condition, tested, working. It's just super cool. You look through it like a little viewfinder, and it has this little video game thing happening. It's that you're playing. You're pressing the buttons with your hands while you're looking through the viewfinder. It's pretty cool.
I like it. Look at that.
So it was kind of hard. I mean, I think that was pretty good. That was a pretty good picture that I got. So I thought it was really cool.
Yeah, for sure. All right. So
I don't know who that douchebag is in the chat, but we're going to get rid of that person. So
I don't know, but you're giving them too much attention. Anyway. All right. So it was my turn.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let me get this other screen up here real quick. Here we go. All right, next one, we're going to jump on over to Etsy for me. This one, so this wasn't like a huge sale or anything. It was an international one, which is cool. But what was kind of neat about this is I was actually at yesterday's Fits, and some guy came in. This is obviously like a few months ago before everything shut down. And some guy came in and just had some sweatshirts, and there were actually 2 of this one and a couple of other sweatshirts. And Jesse kind of looked at me and he was like, "Hey, would you want to buy these?" And I was like, "Yeah," because I think there were ones that he wouldn't have particularly picked up. But since I was right there, he went ahead and bought them for like $10 a piece. There were 2 of these and then 2 other ones. And so it was like $40. So he bought them for $10 a piece from the guy. And then as soon as the guy walked out the door, he just handed them to me and I paid the same price for them. So he didn't even make any money off of them. And so I think I've sold 2 of the other ones. And then this one just sold for, I will show you right now. This one was actually one of the ones 10% off. So it was priced at $47.99. So it was actually for $43.19, and then it went to Canada. So they paid for shipping. But it was just like a really easy deal. It was like I was right there, paid $10 for it, put it up. I think it's a cool sweatshirt, and I made $30 on it basically. So anyway, what is going on over here? Oh, it's Annette. I guess that means Jessica maybe sent us a super chat. Is that who it's from, you think?
I'm going to say maybe.
I hope so. We really appreciate it. $9.99 super sticker. #1 fan. That's coming from Jessica King and her mom, Annette. And again, we dedicated this whole show to you, Jessica, because you love Friday the 13th. And that makes you the coolest. So thank you for the super chat. Do you think I should probably give her the super chat song?
You probably should. That's
super chat, she's super chatty, yow. You like that?
I don't even know if you had changed the screen properly for her to see that.
I did. It's right there. We're right there. That's us right there.
I can't see it.
I know, but it's right. I'm just telling you, we're right there.
All right.
All right. So getting back to business, guys. Thank you again for the super sticker, Jessica and Annette. Yeah, so just a fun little flip. That's all.
That's all.
That's all.
Long story made longer.
You shut your mouth. What's this?
Okay, so this I've had for quite a while. This was about 1.5 years ago. A friend of mine purchased a whole business where they put an RV lot in a business that used to be, they own an RV company, and a business used to be a marina or like marine sales store. So they let me clean out this whole thing full of boating stuff. So it was free. Anyway, it was free. And so I've had this for a bit. I sold a lot of stuff early on. The rest of it was my death pile that sat on the side of the house that I ended up giving away to our friends for them to sell because I hadn't listed it and it was just sitting there. But anyway, this was one of the last things that I had listed that I had actually kept. And somebody offered me $130 for it and I sold it. Nice. I paid nothing for it. It sold for $130.
Well, and then you had like a million other things inside the house that you...
I said that if you had been listening to me.
You shut your mouth. Anyway, all right. So let's go to the next one. Catch the Pepsi Spirit. I don't know if that's what it sounded like. Do you think there was a
I'm
song?
pretty sure that didn't sound
anything. You don't think it was like that? When you tell me what you think it sounds like. Come on.
I don't like to sing.
I was trying to think of like where I got this t-shirt. I think this actually might have been one that I got when I bought a bunch of stuff from Barry. Because there were like a couple of Pepsi shirts. I'm almost positive it was a Barry purchase. At first I thought it was like an eBay bulk buy, but I'm pretty sure it was Barry. But I love these old t-shirts. I love anything that's like Coca-Cola or Pepsi. And this is just a really cool one. And this one, they just purchased it yesterday, I think. And it was a 10% sale, 10% off sale. And so it actually went for $62.99. And it's a gift. I think it's a gift for like his wife, the guy who bought it. And he wants it to get there fast. So he actually paid for priority shipping. So not only did he pay $62.99, but he also paid for the shipping for it. And just a really cool, I like all the old Pepsi ones, Coke ones. What was that one that you had got? Was it a mellow yellow one? Or what was that one that you got when we very first went to Yesterday's Fits? There was that really cool Tropicana. Yeah.
Tropicana orange juice one.
Yeah. Like, so all those like old advertising kind of, branded t-shirts. I think they do really well. And I think people, again, theme of the day and of forever is quit underselling your stuff, guys, because there's so much good stuff out there. If you're gonna be actually going through the trouble and time of listing it, price it accordingly. Go ahead.
So I did have a couple of noteworthy sales on Posh. I will say I did have a handful of sales on Macari this week, but they were all lower dollar amount, bread and butter type of things. But I did have some notable sales on Posh this week, so I did want to share those. I actually did about $800 in Posh in the last 2 weeks, which is huge for me, right? I've been on Posh since the end of January, which is not a very long time at all. And I have about 1,000 items on there. And I do cross post all of my stuff there all week, every week, as I'm putting it on eBay. Not loving Posh. I don't love it. But I felt like I bitched about it 2 weeks ago, and all of a sudden people started buying things. So I will bitch yet again. I don't love Posh, but I did like them. I do like Posh this week. So I did sell these. I think I paid $5 for these. I've had them for quite a while. I did show them in a haul a long time ago. I've had them for well over a year. I thought they would sell faster. I think they may have just gotten stale and nobody was really seeing them on the other platforms. But I did sell them for $85. I had an offer, and I think I paid about $5 at a garage sale for them.
Yeah, you guys see that fat Poshmark fee. But you know, you have those times where 20%. You get so excited about something and you're like, yes, this is going to be awesome. And then it sits and sits and sits. And then finally you're just happy to make like $5 on it. Or whatever.
Sometimes, yes, I wouldn't have sold those for $5, but I would have held out for a while. But I think that was a fair price.
Yeah, for sure. So real quick, Samantha says that she found a vintage Versace, or as I call it, Versace.
Samantha Fox.
Versace women's leather jacket and matching pants, dated 1973 in mint condition, and she's wondering how she should go about pricing that.
I would price it pretty high, but if you want to make a post inside the Boss Facebook group with some pictures so we can actually see some style and what it looks like, there are quite a few of us that specialize in vintage that would love to not only just want to see it, I would love to see it, but give you some tips on keywords and pricing. So if you make a post in the Boss Facebook group, we'll definitely help you out.
Yeah,
there's a few of us in there that are well versed in vintage.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so and I see that
the link is down below, Samantha. Sorry, if you're new to our channel, the link is down below. It's the Boss Facebook group, and we'll make a post in there and we'll help you out.
Yeah, for sure. Sandra says she's gonna make Rebecca watch that movie maybe tonight. I'm very sure, very confident she's referring to the one of the greatest movies of all time, Showgirls. And I don't know if Rebecca has never seen the movie Showgirls.
Rebecca has never seen a lot of these things,
because she's a baby.
She's a baby.
So
Sandra is a cougar.
I wish I was there to watch Showgirls again with somebody watching it for the first time, but you should totally. Oh, she's never seen it. Seriously, that's ridiculous. Get on that.
All right, let's move on.
You shut your mouth. How many times do I have to tell you? How many times? Look at my hat's like flying off my head. I'm getting animated here. She's giving me looks, guys. I don't know if you can tell on the tiny little picture on the screen. All right, let's go to the next thing. Anyway, hey guys, remember this thing?
Oh, I love this one.
Awesome Paramount home video. It was like I figured out it was like this old rental place, which it might actually even be open still. I don't know, but All the Best Video. I think it was a California movie rental place where you go get your VHS tapes. And it's one of these weird short.
Well, it's like a local Blockbuster.
Yeah, kind of. It's one of these weird like short sleeve sweatshirts that I'm like, I don't know who wears these, but I love it. And it's just a cool little sweatshirt. See, it even has, I even put in there, it's got light staining. So actually Teresa was just asking me yesterday how I disclose stains, and I say stuff like light staining because there's just a little light spot there I couldn't get out. But anyway, let's go ahead and see what I sold this for. 10% off. I sold it for $89.99.
What did you pay for it?
I paid, oh geez, I think I paid like 20 maybe, because it was kind of stained and stuff. I paid like $20, $25 the most. I got it from Jesse. And it actually went to Denmark. I saw somebody asking a question in the chat about international sales, and I will tell you, I have not stopped selling international throughout this entire shutdown and everything.
Neither have I.
I will say I have been, before I would only add insurance over a certain threshold. I have been putting insurance on everything I've been selling internationally because it's really easy and cheap to do on pirate ship. And I haven't had any problems yet. I don't know. So it's just kind of one of those things you got to decide for yourself. But I don't know if you guys remember, I had gotten a gray Paramount Video, Paramount Movies Studios, whatever, sweatshirt with around the same time I got this one, and I actually sold that this last week too for like $70. So
you're very, very verbose today.
And you're extra not accepting of my verbosiveness.
Jesus.
Verbosity. I don't know. I'm trying to make up some good words.
Please stop.
Tell us about your stinking bundle.
This is my Poshmark bundle that I sold for $125. Basically, I think I had about $15 into these 3 items. I may not have sold them individually as inexpensively as I did, but because that's what I like about bundles. If it's a decent sales price, I'm willing to let stuff go for less individually if they're buying more than one item because it's a bigger overall sale, right? So I had paid $2, maybe $3 for that sweater. That jacket I had $5 into. That shirt I had $3.50 into. So, you know, into $125, not bad.
Woohoo! I do want to say real quick, guys. Yeah, real quick. I'm loving the deep dive chat going on in the chat over here on the side about Showgirls. I see Jacob Fufu apparently has a deep love for Crystal Connors, which is Gina Gershon's character. I heard somebody describe it as in that movie that Gina Gershon seems to be the only person in that entire movie who seems to know exactly what film she is in. And it is just delightful. So I'm just going to say, I'm just going to leave it there, guys.
Britt said he can hear my eyeballs rolling, so it's probably true. Quick question in the chat from Danica. Do we know what eBay is only allowing global shipping? Katie and I don't use global shipping, so we're just shipping directly everywhere.
Yeah.
I haven't had any issues.
Nope.
I've been selling to every country. I know that there are some countries that are not doing international shipments right now, but none of them that are on that list are very popular countries to begin with.
Yeah.
That's the only country that is somewhat popular that the US is not shipping to right now is Chile.
Yeah. I think I've had one order there
and Chile, and I probably sell 2 or 3 items a year there, which is not popular by any means. 2 or 3 items a year, and Chile is actually one of the ones that's really high theft and loss anyway. So I'm like, nah, no big deal.
Yeah. Oh, now they're talking about bounds. I can't even handle it, guys.
All right, can we stop? Let's move on.
I do love me some bounds. All right, next one is this awesome Sun Valley, Idaho, all over print, aka all over prints ski t-shirt. Look at how cool this shirt is. I had gotten like a few different ones that were made kind of like by the same. If you look at like the tag, it's like this local color art clothes. But I got this from yesterday's fits when we very first went and bought like a bunch of stuff. So I believe I paid like $15 for this.
It's cute.
10 or 15. It's not cute. It's majestic. It is an awesome, awesome t-shirt. I love it. And I believed in it from the very beginning, guys. I believed in it. I believed in it. I believed that it could go places. And it certainly did. So let's see what it sold for. Again, 10% off sale. So they got it for $89.99. That's right. A t-shirt with people skiing on it for $90.
See, Sandra says, I made Rebecca watch Bound. She hated it. I was like, get out. See, I think Rebecca and I are very much alike.
I think I maybe had Vikki watch a little, but I feel like I may have made you watch like a little bit of it.
I didn't watch it with you.
Okay, you didn't watch it with me. Anyway, I guarantee you she would look at that movie and be like, what are you doing to me? But listen, at the time they were the Wachowski brothers, and it actually is an excellent gangster movie with amazing cinematography. And it just happens that the 2 lead characters are lesbians. But if you want to see a really good gangster film, seriously, it is cool. And that's all I have to say about that until the next thing that triggers me. So just saying.
Next.
What do you got?
Good Lord. So this was an Etsy sale. I had picked this up at Goodwill a few months back, and I was pretty surprised because it had something called Star Wars on it. And God forbid anything has Star Wars on it, and all of a sudden Goodwill will price it at like way higher than it's worth. So they had it priced at like $2.99, and it was hit or miss whether it was going to actually have all the pieces. In fact, it did have all the pieces, and it was working. So I took the risk at the $3 thinking I'd be lucky if it was all working. And it sold on Etsy. For $79.95. It did sell for the price that you see there. It was free shipping, but it only went to California, one state over. So it cost me less than $10 to ship.
Very cool.
Even though it was pretty big.
I mean, Star Wars is one of those weird things because it's been there's so much merchandising around that, even back like in the 70s and 80s. There's a ton of it out there. So a lot of it, you think it's going to be worth a lot of money, and it's actually not at all. So that's pretty cool to find that and be able to sell for that much.
We have over 225 people watching right now, which is a pretty good Sunday for us. And we generally have somewhere around the 175 on average watching. So we've got a good chunk of people watching right now. So if you are enjoying the show, give us a thumbs up. If you're not, and clearly a few of you are not super fans, and give us some thumbs down, well, screw you. Don't watch again.
What? I feel like what's really drawing them in is all the really like in-depth Gina Gershon talk, and I feel like we might,
which has so much to do with.
I feel like we should probably have like a whole segment that we do every week. We can cover, like Cocktail. I don't know what some of the other movies that she's been in, but anyway, and just really see how far back in Vikki's head she can roll her eyeballs to the point where she actually pulls some of those.
I'm just really glad that people cannot put that emoji that was made of my eyeball roll into the chat right now, because if we could, that would be.
Is there a way to submit it as like a super sticker? Because that would be real good.
Oh, man. Oh God! Now, Greg, don't even get Katy started.
Oh, Greg, here's the thing, Greg. I have to address this. You cannot not let me address this. So Greg just said I'm more of a Jennifer Tilly guy. The reality is, when it comes to the movie Bound, I am all Jennifer Tilly. Like, Gina Gershon is ridiculous in that movie, and let me tell you, I like the femmes. And Jennifer Tilly, when I saw that movie in high school, it kind of blew my mind. And so I've been a little bit in love with Jennifer Tilly for a very long time.
Jennifer Tilly is her favorite, one of her favorites. Yes.
Yes. She delights me to no end. But Gina Gershon.
Yeah, thank you, Susan Sanders. Oi is right. I can't. Yeah, Jennifer Tilly, that baby voice. I just want to stab her in the eyes.
I don't care. I love her. I love her. Deal. And she's a championship poker player, guys.
I don't care.
Come on.
Don't care.
You shut your mouth. All right, next one up. Talking about Charlotte Hornets. Apparently, it was a Charlotte Hornets week because I sold this again jackets. This is a puffer winter jacket. This is like a big old jacket. And somebody, I think in California, no less, was like, I need me a real heavy, warm winter jacket in the middle of summer in Southern California. And so I sold this bad boy. I'm going to have to ship it out tomorrow. I'm not as excited about that. But I'm happy it's going to California because that means I don't have to worry about trying to get it into a smaller bag.
Trying to cram it into a smaller bag.
Exactly. I can put it in a big bag and be done with it. Again, 10% off. So I did get $134.99 for this jacket. Pretty sure I bought this from Jesse when I bought a bunch of jackets. This one I probably paid like $30 for, because I was paying anywhere from $20 to $30 for these jackets. So I would guess this one was probably one of the $30 ones. But I sold it for $135. So
we are running like. There's been a lot of chat. I'm just looking at the time here. We haven't even done a haul yet. Yeah. So this has been a very long show so far.
Hey guys, please say in the chat how outraged and angry you are that we're talking so long.
Every fucking time. Stop.
You're rude. You're rude. All right, go ahead.
I'm trying to move your babble along.
Tell us about Jesus here.
So this is infant Prag vintage lamp that I sold. I picked this up I think I got it at a garage sale. It was about $2 or $3. I always pick up religious statues, statuettes, lamps, that type of thing. They always sell very well. Sometimes they'll sit for a bit, but they always sell very well.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, let's find out what it sold for. There you go.
Sold for $79.95, and it also went international. This actually went to France, so I shipped. The buyer did pay shipping. They do pay calculated shipping, and I used pirate ship. So I made, I think, another $8 on the shipping. So $8 to $10 on the shipping.
Very nice. Very nice. All right, last one is this Michael Jordan t-shirt. So I sold this on Grail, first of all, for $133, which I'm very happy about. This t-shirt I actually just picked up, not this week, but the last couple weeks ago when I went to yesterday's fits, and of course I wanted to pick up some Jordan stuff because of he's got that that mini series, docu series that they did. I don't remember what it's called. Somebody in the chat to say it because I can't remember because I did not watch it. But if you have any Jordan stuff, you might have noticed that it's been selling like crazy. And so of course I went and picked this up. Sold for $133. I think I didn't pay a crazy amount for this particular one. I think he only charged me like $30 for this one, but I sold for $133 within like a day or two of listing it. But if you remember the previous week, I had this exact same t-shirt. Speaking of that OJ Simpson t-shirt, I had this exact same t-shirt, only it was tie-dye, remember? Mm-hmm. Same graphic, only it was a ridiculous tie-dye over the top of it. And I think I sold that one for like $100. So sold this one for $133. So again, guys, if you have any Jordan stuff, any vintage Jordan stuff, and you have not listed it yet, or maybe it's like an old listing, so it's been suppressed in the search, you should definitely go ahead and end it and relist it, sell similar or whatever, put it up on other platforms. And I'm telling you, this stuff is hot.
Okay.
Yeah, Danny says that she heard grown men raving over it. Last episode's tonight, I guess. Yeah.
There you go.
Thanks for letting me know that, because I actually have one t-shirt that I'm going to show you in the haul today that I already have the pictures and measurements for, that's listed, or that I just picked up, a Jordan t-shirt. So I should go ahead and get that listed today. Today for $1 bazillion.
So we do have a little bit of a haul video. I'm only going to show about 10 things. Katie, I don't know how many you have there.
Stack.
But let's get moving.
Yeah, let's get moving. You want to start? You want me to start?
Sure, I'll start.
Okay,
I'll start. I actually have some stuff this week. Nothing spectacular. I'm going to say I have one item that is really cool that I drove to pick up today that I'm going to show. Everything else is kind of mediocre. But Katie found these for me yesterday when we were at the Goodwill. I did pay $10 for them. They are a set of vintage. It's a pair of vintage 90s dead stock kind of skate sneakers. The brand is Simple. They're this weird kind of textured canvas.
I totally had a pair of these when I was in high school.
But yeah, they're pretty. I paid $10 for them. I didn't even look them up, but when I got home last night, I did see that they're pretty rare to find, especially dead stock. So I think I can get about $65 for them. There's not that many. That's not a very big brand. Let's see. Another pair. These were given to me by a friend of mine who gave me a bag of clothes and shoes. They actually don't look like they've been worn at all, but they like maybe once. I'm not going to sell them as new, but they're the UGG ripoffs, the Bear Paw. But even though they're UGG ripoffs, this brand still sells very well. So again, I think these, and they've got like that, whatever, the squishy stuff inside. They look like Uggs. They look like the original UGG tall boots. But brand new, they sell for like $80, and used, I'll probably sell them for like $45, $50, because they were like brand new.
Danica says that her high school boyfriend only wore Simple.
Really?
I had a pair that were blue that looked very, very similar to the ones that she has, and I remember buying them and spending like $50 on them, and it was like, that was a lot to spend on a pair of shoes for me back then.
Milk Cap said she remembers that brand. Yeah, I don't remember that brand. And then I picked these up. These were actually green tag yesterday. They were $1 or 99 cents or $1 or whatever they were. But these are Tactical 511. So it's one of those brands that you want to pick up when you see it. And these are actually, they look dusty and real dirty in this picture, but they're really not in bad shape. Just black work boots. These should sell for about $50 as well. And I paid $1. So as packed as that store was, those were still green tag and $1. Let's see. Do one more thing and then you can, because I really only have like 4 more.
All right.
So this was a given as well. Somebody gave this to me. This is, I don't even know what the hell it is. Some type of 4-channel mixer. It's new in the box. It's a pro audio mixer. And a friend of mine gave this to me in a box of stuff. This should sell for about $75 as well.
All right. Very cool. Very, very cool.
Yeah.
All right. So I bought, let me see, I'm going to set that to the side. So I went to yesterday's Fits to do boxes. Jesse wanted me to come help him put together boxes because he wanted to drop a bunch with their big sale today. And so I also bought some stuff, but I didn't buy a ton just because I had just been there the week before and they haven't been doing any big buys. So for the most part, I already gone through everything. But I did pick up some really cool stuff. This, you know, you guys know how I feel about the Cliff Angle sweaters, the wool sweaters. They're pretty much, I think they're pretty much all NFL, I feel like. Do we ever see them in any other?
I've never seen them for anything other than NFL.
Yeah.
You just think of Mike Ditka.
Yeah.
Mike Ditka's traditional Bears sweatshirt in the 80s and his vest, his sweater vest, those were Cliff Angle.
Yeah, so I've been eyeballing this one for a while, but he had it priced up kind of high because it is Raiders. And if you guys remember, I always talk about the Cliff Angle sweaters and how they get underpriced so much. Like literally you can go on eBay and find different teams for like 30, 35 bucks. And I regularly sell them for well over 100. It takes a little longer, but I especially sell them on Etsy. I feel like they sell really well on Etsy. But Raiders especially, I know there's some contention out there depending on what team is your favorite, but Raiders is definitely objectively
I knew Britain was going to like that.
One of the more popular teams.
You'd be swimming in this, dude. It's got to be like an extra large.
Yeah. But one of the things, so I ended up getting this, I think I got it for like 40 or 50. I ended up paying for it. But I do want to point out that when I brought it home, it had some like some like staining on the sleeves and stuff. Went ahead, threw it in the washer on the gentle cycle.
Yeah, it's just acrylic.
Yeah, well, it's wool.
Are you sure?
It is wool. Yeah, the Cliff Angle ones are all wool. They're usually like a wool blend, like an 80% blend. But I put it on the gentle cycle with the Woolite. I think there's some Woolite that you had bought. I went ahead and washed it, and it came right out, and it looks real good. So I think I can easily sell this for a couple $100 bucks. It might take a little while.
Says he has seen hockey and basketball angle as well.
Okay. I pretty much only ever find the NFL ones, but I should be able to sell this for at least $200. Might take a little while, but I'm glad I finally picked it up. Now, this jacket I think is pretty magical.
Yeah, I'm jealous of this too.
This is just a satin bomber jacket, but it's Ferrari. And look at the back, guys. It's gorgeous. Look at that gold thread.
That gold embroidered satin jacket. Like that's like every 80s person.
Yeah. So this is just magical. I will say on the side here, it does have like a little hole going on, which makes me sad. But I still think, you know, he didn't charge me too much for it.
You should ask Crystal to repair it and pay her to repair it.
It was like $30.
You get a little pull on the waistband too.
Yeah.
A big pull, actually.
That's okay. It's a little hole. But I still think I could sell it for like $150, even as is. And I paid about $30 for it. But it's just a really cool.
I love that jacket. That is a really cool.
Yeah. It's gorgeous. Gorgeous. And then here's another piece that I have been drooling over for a long time. But he had a price really high for good reason. I think it was at $100, and I'd been trying to buy it from him, but I think the lowest he'd gone before was like 75. So this time I was like, come on, man, you've had this for a while.
Well, of course he's had it for a while. The damn store's closed.
Even before then, and he's got it on his website. You shut your mouth. Anyway, they've had it for a long time, and I just really, really wanted it. So I finally got it down to $60. I'm like, you know what, I'll take it. But this is Holyfield Tyson match, 1991. Just an awesome, awesome sweatshirt. And I've been wanting it for a while. So I did end up paying $60 for it. I think I can sell it for at least $150, maybe $200. Now it helps a lot to make sure you're making your stuff available internationally and using multiple platforms. And stuff like this is going to move a lot faster. So
I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
So Dana said she has a professional seamstress that does her repairs for $3 per piece. I think that's awesome. I have recently had Crystal for the last couple of months has been doing my listings and photos for me, and she is a professional seamstress as well. She sews costumes and cosplay costumes. So she's actually been fixing a couple of things for me here and there, which is fantastic because like a lot of you guys, I know I will buy something. You find out it has something wrong with it and it has a repair. I can't sew for shit. I can't even, I can barely sew a button on. So I throw it in a pile and go, meh, I'll get to it.
I can I'll
fix it.
I can easily fix when it's like a seam. Like sometimes you'll have a t-shirt where it's like the seam on the collar is coming across, coming apart, and that's pretty an easy fix, and I'll do that. But like I have a jacket downstairs. It's a really cool jacket. But when I went to take pictures of it, I realized it's like there's a big hole right here. And it would, I think, for somebody who knows what they're doing, yeah, she'll be able to do it.
So Britton said, I actually was going to mention that because I just saw it. So Tyson and Holyfield are doing a fight for charity in a few months.
Ooh.
So yeah,
so I'll price it high and just let it sit for a little while. So, all right. So anyway, all right, and then so there's another reseller that's on the East Coast, friend of a friend, and he had like a bunch of stuff. And actually, if you guys want to go check out, he's the Valet Flipper, I believe is his name, and he actually has a YouTube channel with a few videos on it. I think it's the Valet Flipper.
Valet or Valley?
Valet.
Oh, V-A-L-E-T. Gotcha. Okay.
Anyway, and in February, I think he went to this place, and I think it must have been like an old t-shirt shop or an old like shirt shop, because it was like literally probably tens of thousands of t-shirts, mostly t-shirts and sweatshirts. And it's a lot of like travel stuff, destination stuff. But he had like a bunch of it. He sold a bunch of it, but I was able to do like kind of a big bulk, like 30 pieces from him. And I just ordered another like 15 or so. But you can go check out the video he took, where you actually see like just piles of boxes everywhere, filled like just my dream.
Alexis asks, is that his name Greg?
Yes, that's who it is. Valet Picker. Valet Picker. Sorry, I was saying Flipper. Valet Picker. Yes, Greg, that's him. Indeed. Sorry for not saying his name right. But anyway, so I got a bunch of stuff from him. I got one sweatshirt, and like this, I mean, you guys know me and my ski stuff. Ski Veil, Beaver Creek. And you'll see like down at the bottom. It's like
that faded neon pinky orange color.
Yeah, you'll see at the bottom it says Sutton's. And almost all of the t-shirts say Sutton's. So I don't know if Sutton's was like one of those companies that created, like lots of touristy kinds of shirts and sweatshirts and stuff like that, because they all have Sutton's on. But this is just, I love it. I love it. I love it. But a lot of stuff has been just like sitting in storage, and
it's really cool.
It's really cool. I'll show one more and then you can go. And then this is like another one that came from there. It's like a long sleeve Jackson Hole. You gotta love like the faux kind of really
big mock
extra
neck. It's like a mock neck,
thick collar. But this is just
so 90s.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure.
I kind of wish it had like skiing on it, but I do love Jackson Hole. If you've never been to Jackson Hole, Wyoming, it's beautiful there. And it's just a cool long sleeve shirt. But you can go ahead and show some stuff.
So we did stop at a couple of garage sales. I did only make purchases at 2 of them. Even the garage sales were pretty crowded yesterday. But one of the purchases I made was I paid $25 for a box of big box video games. So these are all like old PC games. There are, I think I got a total of 10 of them for $25. Just sight unseen. Some of them don't have much value. Some of them are worth the $40 to $60 range, but all of them were in good shape. And for $2.50, I mean, it's not really a big risk, right? So a couple of them are pretty cool. Like some people collect these for the graphics, even though most people, and some people keep certain types of PCs, the real gamers, just so they can, play these older games. So this is one of them. So like King's Quest. This one actually is one that sells pretty well. Fire and Rescue, 911 Fire and Rescue. An original, like an older Lord of the Rings type of game. What are you doing?
Go ahead, just keep going. Talk.
This one right here. This one actually sells for quite a bit. It's an Alice in Wonderland, but like a dark kind of gothic side of Alice in Wonderland. So pretty cool. I mean, like I said, anywhere from $20 to $50 on these, and I got 10 of them for $25. So I was pretty happy to buy those.
Yeah, for sure. So real quick, Tommy asked this question a couple of times about our international shipping video from last year-ish. Is it still valid? I would say the one that Vikki and I did together, it was like a live one that we did about saving on your international shipping using pirate ship. I think that one's probably the most current and best one to go off of, because I did another video earlier that was just me by myself and showing how to do international shipping through eBay. But the one where it's the both of us together saving on international shipping through pirate ship, that's the one you want to look at for now, to be able to figure out what the best way to go is. So
we're talking about, Cassandra's talking about her foster kittens. Listen, I don't even like cats, and those kittens are stinking cute, especially that gray one with the little fuzz face. I don't know what its name is, but oh my God, so cute.
Yeah. But earlier, before the show even started, I saw in the stack the King's Quest game, and Vikki was like giving me attitude. She's like, "It's brand new. You can't take it." And you know what? I just want to look at it. And you know what? If I want it, I can buy it for the price that you would sell it for.
Yes, you can.
Okay, it's happened before, so you don't need to get all snippety. I never asked you to give me your stuff. I don't.
I don't know. You and Dana both do.
No, don't lump me in with Dana. Dana is the one that does that.
Although, you know, one of the things I'm going to show today did come from Miss Dana.
That's true. That's true.
Anyway, a couple more things that I picked up on Dollar Days, the Dollar Day yesterday. And I never shop the Dollar Day at Goodwill. First of all, I don't shop Goodwill in general for the most part, but the Dollar Day at Goodwill yesterday, some of the stuff was, the fact that they were even having it and have only been open for a couple of days, was pretty good. So I did get some, vintage wool sports coat, like a very like 70s houndstooth
plaid or something.
Yeah, I paid $1. Again, I'll probably sell it on Etsy for $50 to $60. I told you nothing fantastic this week, guys. Sorry. And then there's another one. This one is actually Seville Row, which was made. This one might have been this is actually a very, very high end, even though it's very outdated. It's a very high end jacket. It's actually more of a suit jacket than a sport coat. But depending on the ones that have patterns, I'm not Rick Dorn here. Rick is really the suit guy. But if it has a decent pattern, certain guys will pick this up, especially when it's vintage, and can pair it with a pair of jeans and a nice pair of shoes, and it actually can work really well. And this is another one. So this is, I paid $1 for it. It's just a very, very nicely made vintage high-end brand. Double vented, working surgeon cuffs, which I learned from Rick. 4-button working surgeon cuffs. That's actually a sign of very high-end quality. So I paid $1. I haven't really looked up the brand yet. I might be able to get more for it than I thought, but this is one that I think I'll price somewhere around $75. I only have 2 more things. One of them is the, see, there he is. There's Derek. Hey, Derek. One of the other ones, I paid $1 for this as well. I've talked about these type of blankets. My blanket stash is getting pretty darn low. I've sold quite a lot over the last 2 months or so that we've been home, and I have not been able to replenish them. So I paid $1 for this blanket. It's just the vintage waffle weave blanket with the big satin edge. It's in beautiful condition. It's kind of like this mocha color. I paid $1. This will sell for $75. They all do, somewhere around $75.
Derek, we were saying there you are, because earlier in the show, I showed that I had sold that Big Bad Wolf roller coaster T-shirt you sold me. I sold it for like $70. So it's calling you out. What you got? What's going on?
No, I only have one more thing. Go ahead.
Oh, you want me to show some stuff first, and you can save your fancy thing over there for a little bit? Allison was saying earlier that she'd love to be that guy. I'm assuming she was talking about Greg, and like, man, seriously, if the whole pandemic thing wasn't happening right now, I'd be like cashing in some Southwest points, heading over. I think he's in Massachusetts. Heading over to Massachusetts and like going to this place myself, because I guess it's like some old guy that he must have, I don't know if he used to own the shop or what, but he's got like 3 or 4 warehouses that are just filled with old dead stock. Like some of the stuff's got some like from just being in storage for so long, some weird fading on them and stuff like that, or issues. But there's just like so much, and it's like I would seriously go right now to go just like buy stuff for myself, but I can't. It's driving me crazy. It's driving me crazy. But anyway, it's just like a bunch of really cool stuff. Like, look at this tank top from Six Flags. It says, "Put them up at Six Flags."
I like that one.
It's like the roller coaster tank top. Like that. This is like something that like your dad would have worn. And when I say your dad, like everyone's collective dad, if you grew up in like the 80s and 90s, like this is what dads would wear, right? There's like a bunch of
so Super Dad has a question. How do you ladies handle shipping an item, receiving positive feedback, and then buyer opens a return on you? There's nothing you can do.
they're two separate issues. They give you a positive feedback. Yay!
Can I speak?
Yes, go ahead.
So my feedback is set up automatically. Feedback is if you're selling more than a few items a week, you should probably set it up to be automatic. Your only option is to give positive feedback to a buyer. Once they've paid, the transaction's over as far as you're concerned. Positive feedback isn't something you should be worried about. And you cannot leave a buyer anything but positive feedback. So there's absolutely nothing you can do. You can't change it. There's nothing you can do. It's just two completely separate issues.
Well, he received the positive feedback and then they opened a return.
I understand that.
You got positive feedback out of it.
Still nothing you can do, honey.
Yeah. Don't worry about it. So yeah, so there was like, all this stuff was like destination stuff. Ski at Lake Tahoe. You know how I like my ski stuff. This is like a cool all over print one. This one I'm really stoked about. This is an 80s. It says San Diego Wildlife Park, 1987. And it's one of these awesome animal t-shirts, but it's double-sided and the back's got a tiger, so you know I'm all about that Tiger King.
Hashtag Tiger King.
Yep.
In the description.
So this one I think I can sell for like $100. Like seriously, guys, don't underprice your t-shirts. Well, do underprice your t-shirts so I can buy them from you. This one, I think somebody was talking about rafting. Was that who was in the chat that apparently was listening to us while rafting or something like that?
It was Cheryl. Rafting, not rafting.
I thought it said, I saw rafting.
She corrected herself after.
But I would like to imagine that this is what she was doing while she's listening to us in the chat. This is like, I love this t-shirt.
She's rafting.
Yeah, this is like one of those big, it says Raging River, The Great Escape, Lake George, New York. This is such a cool t-shirt. I love it. So this is the kind of stuff that Greg found in that warehouse. And so Screen Stars tags. This one's the 80s. I love the graphics on this particular one are really cool. And then
Cheryl says I'm talented.
This one, even Vikki thought it was cool. This one, Magic Mountain Revolution. This is now this is Six Flags. Or no, this is so California Adventures or
Magic Mountain is Disney, but that doesn't say Disney on anything. Well, Space Mountain and Magic Mountain are both Disney.
Yeah, I don't know.
So I'm not sure exactly what it is. You might have to do a little research. That's not a Disney licensed shirt, so you wouldn't want to put Disney on it anyway. But
well, and this one, it's kind of the print is kind of weird there, but it did say Sutton's. Remember I was telling you Sutton's, and actually this particular graphic, and it's kind of like that raised puffy print. This particular graphic, it was on multiple T-shirts in that whole stash, but for different amusement parks. So it's like the same graphic, but I really like it because it's got the whole space theme going on.
Oh, so Derek says Magic Mountain was a theme park. Oh, okay.
Oh,
so it is. It might be. It might be an actual, just a different theme park in general.
But this one is a Stedman tag. You can see there. And this is like a really nice big size too. It's a 2XL, which is like crazy. I actually ordered. He has like 6 more of these, and I went ahead and said like send me the rest of them because it's just a really cool shirt, and I got a good deal. And then like this one's Hershey Park, and this is a really cool print because it's a whole outer space kind of thing, and it's got the kind of galaxy stars.
It's kind of an Oliver Prince.
Oliver Prince, all over print. Just a really cool t-shirt. I love this kind of stuff. And we got right here. This is like a Buffalo Bill Historical Center, and this one's dated 1988. And that's just a really neat graphic. And again, this one's a Stedman tag.
Look at all these people doing the research for you. You haven't even had to do your research on your Magic Mountain. Magic Mountain was in Valencia, California.
Now, real quick, guys, we talk about like single stitch being vintage, and I always say it's not the rule. It's just a clue that something is vintage because I want to show you this T-shirt's from the 80s. This tag right here is like a mid-late 80s, early 90s T-shirt tag, and you look at the bottom. This one's definitely from 1988. It's dated right on the shirt. You look at the bottom, and it is double stitch. I don't know if you can see it there. It is a double stitch on the bottom. So it's not single stitch. It is single stitch on the sleeve, but sometimes even 80 shirts will be double stitch on the sleeve and on the bottom. But it does have the thicker tag or thicker collar, wider collar, and the Stedman tag. But it's just one of those things like you can't. Some people I think would look at that and be like, "Oh, it must not be vintage because it's double stitch." Nope, it is.
It's not an absolute science.
Exactly. Go ahead. see your.
So I only have one more thing to show, but it's really cool. Dana, who's in the chat, House of Rocks, actually messaged me and she's like, "Do you want this thing?" First of all, she hates selling hard goods. She won't sell them. She's tried. Be the first to tell you, forget it. She didn't want it. She actually gave the hard goods to me usually.
I mean, talking hard goods, that one's a nightmare.
This is a nightmare. I'm going to say this is going to be a nightmare to ship. It's going to be 2 boxes. It's going to be 2 huge boxes. It may actually be 2 separate listings because I'm not sure these items actually go together now that I've had a little bit more time to look at them. So one of them is, we've got this gorgeous, I got to try to push back a little bit, this gorgeous Art Deco bent wood. It's kind of like a mid-century lamp. It's a table lamp, but it's a huge wooden table lamp, right? Let it go. So that's the lamp. I'm not sure that they originally went together, but this is what's considered, even though this is kind of an Art Deco era or like a mid-century era from when it was made, it's considered a Victorian style, but it's this big, huge, fringy, it's dusty. Fringy, this is kind of a silk. It's kind of like a silk brocade lampshade in like this dusty rose or pink.
I believe this is from the Georgia O'Keeffe collection.
It is kind of like a big vagina.
I was going for a little more subtle one.
a tulip vagina. But it's actually really fantastic. It looks like it belongs in like a bordello front room. I love it. So I will package it. I don't have a problem packaging it as long as the boxes are big enough. So I'm going to be charging a buttload in shipping on it for sure because it's going to need 2 separate boxes. If I ship them, if I sell them together, I may sell them separately. I think I can get a little bit more money if I sell them separately. But it's huge. It's huge. It's not very heavy. It's just very big. It's going to be a very big lamp.
Milcap, to be clear though, most likely she will be making me help her package it. So
I will help you. I will make you help me like create a box for it. Yes.
Allison, the lampshade monologues.
Sure. Sure. It's just fantastic. So it's definitely got that whole hooker bordello look. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. It's funny, for those of you that have been in my home, I have our formal living room was decorated before Katy moved in, but the formal living room has kind of, I call it my French bordello look because I have red satin curtains on the walls and I have red lampshades with black fringe on these big crystal chandelier type lamps. And I have a crystal chandelier floor lamp. So I call that my hooker bordello room anyway. So if only that were red, it would be staying. So be thankful it's not.
Okay. Whatever. Sandra says that we should use it in the next After Dark episode.
It is a fantastic, fantastic lamp. So it's a little bit dirty. It's the lampshade is a little discolored. I don't know where it was stored, so that it wasn't obviously wrapped and taken good care taken of it. But I'm going to try to vacuum it off with a brush attachment and see how much of the dirt and dust I can get off of it. I think it's fantastic. I think I can get, I didn't pay anything for it. Dana gave it to me. I think I can get about $150 for the lampshade alone, and the base I think would be another 150 or so. I think they're both really cool.
And that's Attic has a question you should take.
In business policies, if you have a flat rate for shipping set, can you change the amount on one item? To answer that question, yes, you can. It will tell you that you can change it for one item only. And you added as you're listing that particular item. If you change your handling time, will it be included? Yes. Yes and yes.
All right. All right.
Because I do that all the time.
Okay. Yeah, you have to deal with a lot more different types of shipping and stuff like that. All right. I just have a couple of things real quick that I grabbed at yesterday's fit.
Ooh, Sally says that U-Haul has some nice lamp boxes.
Ooh.
Thank you, Sally.
Ooh. I really like this one. It says Black by Nature, Proud by Choice. And this was it says DCT's 1990. So this is like an early
When
90s.
was the Million Man March?
The Million Man March?
Wasn't
later?
I think that was in the 90s. I'm trying to see if that's the same time frame.
I don't think so. I thought that was
there is any correlation between that.
Maybe.
All right.
And then you can see
I could be wrong.
It's got Africa, the continent of Africa. You can see it like outlined there. This is just a really cool t-shirt. I like these kinds of shirts. I think I only paid like $10 for it because there were a whole bunch of a big stack of stuff that I got from Jesse that he priced really cheap for me. But this is my favorite
see,
one.
I didn't even notice the outline until it's actually
it's
green instead of black, so it kind of only you can see it when you turn it because it's like shiny. Got it.
Anyway,
the letters.
I think this is really cool. I like any kind of like Black History, Black Pride kind of t-shirts. I think they do really well.
They do so very well. Anything that's kind of topical like that, anything that is has any type of ethnic diversity or any type of rights movements, anything like that that is tied to history, whether it's like the AIDS epidemic, anything like that that is tied to history in some way, ends up selling very, very well because it has a lot of cultural following. And so definitely think, well, Corey says
that it's October 1995. So that t-shirt is 1990. And if you look really close in the graphic, it actually has the copyright or whatever, so the 89. So prior to that. But anyway, and I picked up this because, of course, Oliver Prince. This is a cool Magic Johnson tees. So, Magic Johnson, the basketball player, and this is an NFL t-shirt. But Magic Johnson tees, a lot of like really cool designs and graphics on the Magic Johnson tees. So I always like it when I find that particular brand. And then I've got a pretty sweet wrestling tee right here. I believe this is maybe Derek will know, but I think this is this Triple H? I don't know.
I don't know.
This is like late 90s, maybe early 2000s WWE. But yeah, I think it's late 90s, this particular one. I think it might be Triple H, but I'm not entirely sure. But this is just a really cool all over Prince.
Oh, Bonnie has a comment on that lamp. The lamp has similar lines to modeling lamps. I haven't seen a blonde one. Yeah, it is definitely a blonde wood. I'll definitely check it out. I literally just picked it up a couple of hours ago, so I've done no research on it at all. I don't even know if it has any type of stamp or signing on it. I don't think so, but I will do a little bit more research. So thank you for that keyword or that brand to go delve into.
Yeah, Derek says it is Triple H. So I haven't looked up any comps on it. But that's just a really cool shirt. And there's just a couple of things here. This is a liquid blue coral reef t-shirt. And if you remember, I had one
really cool.
I had one I just sold like a few weeks ago that said like Oceanica on it, I think. And I sold it to like Denmark or somewhere in Europe for quite a bit. And it was just a similar shirt like this. It's all over print ocean life kind of t-shirt. This liquid blue. I think I paid like $25 for this or something like that. I'll probably price it like $100.
I like that one a lot.
1992 liquid blue.
That's a really cool one.
And I'm saying liquid blue. That's like the actual brand right there. There's a lot of Grateful Dead t-shirts.
Grateful Dead liquid blue shirts are kind of a grail item.
Yeah.
Even though they're not super old, like 60s Grateful Dead shirts, right now liquid blue Grateful Dead shirts are big in the streetwear community in general, even though they're not the oldest.
Yeah. So last two things. So remember I said I did pick up another Michael Jordan t-shirt. So this one I picked up just the other day at yesterday's Fits. This is a 1991 MVP Jordan t-shirt, and it's got the gray tag. I call it the Jordan era Nike tag because when you see that tag, you know it's either from the late 80s or the early 90s. This particular one actually has a year right on it, 1991. Single stitch. It's got some wear. It's got a couple of little tiny holes in it. But I should still be able to sell this for at least $150, maybe $200. Just a really cool t-shirt. This one I paid up for. I think I paid like $50 for or something like that because obviously Jesse knows that these t-shirts are really in demand right now.
It's
so
wicked fire.
I don't even know what just came out of you. But I'm definitely going to make sure I get that one listed tonight. After the show, I'm going to make sure I get it listed because like somebody was saying in the chat, the last episode of that mini-series, docu-series is coming up. So very last thing, this is the last thing I picked up from Greg, the Valet Picker. Check him out on YouTube. He's got a few videos there. And again, check him out so you can watch that video where he goes through all those t-shirts, gives a little tease of it. But check this out. This is a vintage 90s Polo Ralph Lauren hand knit 100% wool sweater. It's got the meese on it, the mooses. It's got moose on it. And it's just such a cool wool sweater. And if you guys remember, I had bought like a couple of vintage polo sweaters at what can I think of it? What's the place? Why is my mind? Buffalo Exchange. Remember how I found 2 of those?
Yes.
I paid like $25 a piece, and then I turned around and sold them each for like 150. One sold for like 150. One sold for like 200. Anyway, I paid $30 for this one. Probably going to take a while to sell, but I will price it way up, and it might not sell until we hit fall, or who knows? Maybe somebody in Australia will buy it. But I should be able to sell it. I haven't looked this particular one up, but I should be able to sell it for 150, $200 pretty easily. It just might take a little while. But this for $30 was a fantastic score. It's a really, really cool sweater. So that's it.
So Jen asked, have we watched Thrift Raider on YouTube? So much vintage t-shirt awesomeness. And Thrift Raider is also in the chat. Said it was fun to find that stuff once I got to go out finally. No, Katie and I, we've said before, we very rarely watch YouTube, either one of us. And I'm sorry, it makes us terrible contributors to the community since we have a YouTube show, but I can't work and watch YouTube at the same time, and that's that's the problem. I get too focused on what's happening. I certainly can't watch live because I would want to do what you guys are doing and participate in the chat. And there's just so many friends and people I know that have these fantastic channels that I rarely watch any of it, which is awful. But I do participate, in groups, and I'm a lot more active on Instagram than Katie is. But
now that you're telling me that Thrift Raider, you have some cool vintage T-shirts, I'm gonna have to go. I'm assuming it must be a recent one because she says it was fun to find that stuff. So I'm definitely gonna have to go check it out and see.
There really are. There are just so many people. She's right. It's just. There are so many people that have channels, and I love that there is a community, that there are so many people that have YouTube channels that do well with it. It's crazy. It's so hard to do it.
Yeah. I cannot, like, I watch stuff while I work, but it has to be in the background, and
the niche lady,
it's impossible to have stuff in the background.
Danny is our friend that's here right in Vegas as part of our meetup group and everything, and she's a friend, and she has a YouTube channel as well. I have never watched a single episode. Danny, I love you. It's not you. I can't
work and have that kind of stuff playing. So it's a bummer because it's like we just don't have time.
It doesn't mean that I don't care and don't support. Attention.
So anyway. All right, guys, any other questions, comments? See, we still got done in an hour and a half, you naysayer. Look at this. We have like 300 people in the chat. What is that all about? That's crazy. You guys must be like...
People are bored and they're still in lockdown.
Awesome. They want to see how many times you're going to roll your eyes back and see if you detach any retinas or anything like that. I don't know. So...
Yeah, Tommy in Seattle said, if I watched everyone I wanted on YouTube, I'd have 2 free hours a day. Listen, I don't think I would have any free hours. Yeah. Every once in a while, I try to catch up, and I'm like, yeah, nope, I can't. I wish I could do it as background. Jacob says, I wish I could do it as background.
Well, Jacob says, I like it in the background too, but then someone mentions showgirls and my work stopped. My apologies. Anyway, yeah, thanks for coming and hanging out with us, you guys. We're going to go get some work done. Yesterday was our day off, so I need to get to listing, and I want to get that Michael Jordan t-shirt up ASAP. But yeah, I don't know.
I'm going to start listing.
You going to start listing?
Yeah, I have about 20 drafts that I need to make live and cross-post to 3 or 4 other platforms. And then I'm done.
All right. Hey guys, yeah, so thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us. We will be back on Wednesday. Again, if you're not in the Boss Facebook group, the link is down below. You should be, because that's where...
If you're a Facebooker, you should be in there. It's a great group. We've got a great group of people in there. Everybody's really positive, uplifting, and helpful. We have people that are brand new sellers all the way up to OG sellers like Teresa, myself, Danny, people that have been selling for more than 20 years. And everybody's very helpful. There are no stupid questions.
Yeah.
We just really like helping people, and that's what the group is all about.
Yeah, for sure. Real quick, Allison wants to know, can you use Last Dance in the Jordan listing? I don't do it on eBay, but I will say usually when there's taglines, tag words like that, keywords, and like Tiger King and stuff like that, I do put it in my keywords, my tags on Etsy, and I will on Grailed as well. I don't do it on eBay just because they're a little bit more weird about quote unquote keyword spamming and stuff like that. But whatever. I think for the most part, somebody's going to know how to just search Michael Jordan. But
yeah.
Anyway,
everybody have a great rest of your weekend and get the week started out strong. And we'll see you on Wednesday.
Yep. Bye.
Bye.